Consider this. Every thought you've ever had, every dream you've ever dreamt, and every single move you make is all thanks to a remarkable 3-pound organ nestled inside your head. That's the human brain. It is, without a doubt, the most complex and fascinating object in the known universe, acting as the ultimate command center for your entire body. It runs the show 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, managing everything from your heartbeat and breathing to your ability to solve a tricky math problem or laugh at a funny joke. The brain is where you, the thinking, feeling, experiencing you, truly live. It's the central processing unit that makes everything else possible. To do such an important job, the brain needs serious protection. Think of it like a precious gem stored in a high-security vault. First, there's the skull, a hard, bony helmet that acts as the initial line of defense against bumps and impacts. But the protection doesn't stop there. Beneath the skull, the brain is wrapped in 3 special layers of tissue called the meninges. The outermost layer is tough and fibrous, the middle one is like a delicate spider's web, and the innermost layer clings right to the brain's surface, providing a final soft blanket of security for this vital organ. But wait, there's more. Between 2 of those meninges layers, there is a special liquid called cerebrospinal fluid. This fluid acts like a liquid cushion, allowing the brain to float gently inside the skull. This is incredibly important because it absorbs shocks and jolts from everyday movements, like when you jump up and down or accidentally bump your head. Imagine carrying a delicate model ship inside a box. You'd want to surround it with packing peanuts to keep it safe. The cerebrospinal fluid does exactly that for your brain, protecting it from rattling around and getting damaged. It's a brilliant natural engineering solution. So we have this wonderfully protected command center, but what does it do all day? The brain is the source of all our conscious and unconscious activities. It processes information gathered by our senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, and allows us to make sense of the world around us. It stores our precious memories, from our first day of school to what we ate for breakfast this morning. It generates our emotions, like joy, sadness, and anger, and it is the very engine of our personality and creativity. Every single thing that makes you uniquely you is orchestrated by this amazing organ. Now, let's zoom in and look at the tiny components that give the brain its incredible power. The primary workers of the brain are specialized cells called neurons. You have about 100 billion of them, which is more than the number of stars in our galaxy. These neurons are the information messengers of the nervous system. They talk to each other using a combination of electrical zaps and chemical signals, forming a vast and intricate communication network. Each neuron has a cell body, branching dendrites that receive signals, and a long axon that sends signals out to other neurons, muscles, or glands. This network is what allows information to travel at lightning speed. But neurons don't work alone. For every neuron, there are several other cells called glial cells. For a long time, scientists thought glial cells were just the glue that held the neurons in place. In fact, glia is Greek for glue. However, we now know they do so much more than that. Glial cells are the essential support staff for the superstar neurons. They provide neurons with nutrients to keep them energized. They clean up waste products, and they wrap around the neurons' axons to help signals travel faster. Some glial cells even act as the brain's personal immune system, protecting it from invaders. Think of it like a bustling city. The neurons are the messengers, the delivery drivers, and the office workers zipping around, making sure important information gets where it needs to go. The glial cells, on the other hand, are the city's infrastructure and support services. They are the construction crews that maintain the roads, the sanitation workers who keep the streets clean, the power plant operators providing energy, and the security guards who keep everyone safe. Without the hard work of the glial cells, the neurons simply couldn't do their jobs, and the entire city of the brain would grind to a halt. This dynamic duo of neurons and glial cells creates 2 main types of tissue in the brain: gray matter and white matter. The gray matter, found on the brain's surface and in deeper clusters, is made up mostly of the neuron cell bodies. This is where the real thinking and information processing happens. The white matter, found deeper inside the brain, is composed of the long, signal-sending axons, which are coated in a fatty substance that gives them their lighter color. The white matter acts as the superhighway, transmitting signals from one area of gray matter to another and connecting the brain to the rest of the body. To understand how the brain is organized, scientists divide it into three main sections: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. The largest and most developed part is the forebrain, which sits at the very front and top of your head. This is where all the complex, higher-level thinking happens. A huge part of the forebrain is the cerebrum, with its wrinkly, folded outer layer called the cerebral cortex. This is the part of the brain responsible for things like language, problem-solving, memory, and voluntary actions. It's what you use to read this very sentence and understand its meaning. It's the center of your consciousness. Within the forebrain, there are other incredibly important structures working beneath the cerebrum. The thalamus, for example, acts as the brain's central relay station. Almost all the sensory information from your body, everything you see, hear, taste, and touch, passes through the thalamus before being directed to the correct part of the cerebrum for processing. Also tucked away in the forebrain is the limbic system, which is often called the emotional brain. This group of structures, including the hippocampus and amygdala, handles our emotions, motivations, and the formation of long-term memories. It's why a certain smell can instantly bring back a powerful memory from your childhood. Next up on our tour is the midbrain, a much smaller region located just beneath the center of the forebrain. Though small, the midbrain plays a big role as a connection point and relay center. It helps process some visual and auditory information, connecting what you see and hear to your body's movements. For instance, if you hear a loud, unexpected noise, your midbrain helps you automatically turn your head toward the sound. It also contains structures that are crucial for controlling eye movements and regulating our body's motor functions, ensuring our movements are smooth and coordinated rather than jerky and uncontrolled. It's a critical bridge between the simpler functions of the hindbrain and the complex tasks of the forebrain. Finally, we arrive at the hindbrain, which is located at the back of the head, near the bottom of the brain. This is the most ancient part of the brain, and it's in charge of many of our most basic life-sustaining functions. A key part of the hindbrain is the cerebellum, which means little brain. It's responsible for balance, coordination, and posture. When you ride a bike or type on a keyboard without thinking about each finger movement, you have your cerebellum to thank. The hindbrain also includes the pons and medulla oblongata, which work tirelessly to control vital automatic functions like breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. These are the things you never have to consciously think about. So, you have this incredible command center with all its different parts, but how does it actually talk to the rest of your body? The brain communicates through the nervous system, which is like a biological internet made of nerves. The main data cable is the spinal cord, a thick bundle of nerves that runs from the base of the brain down your back. Messages from the brain travel down the spinal cord and branch out through a network of peripheral nerves to every part of your body, telling your muscles to move, your glands to release hormones, and your organs to function. In return, nerves from your body send information back up to the brain, telling it what's happening in the outside world. This two-way communication highway is incredibly fast and efficient. When you touch a hot stove, sensory nerves in your hand instantly send a danger signal up to your brain. Before you even consciously feel the pain, your brain sends a command right back down, telling the muscles in your arm to pull your hand away. This all happens in a fraction of a second, thanks to the seamless connection between the brain, spinal cord, and the vast network of nerves that permeates your entire body. It's a beautifully designed system for control, sensation, and, most importantly, survival. Just like any powerful computer, the brain needs a constant and reliable source of energy to keep running. It is an incredibly hungry organ. Although it only makes up about 2% of your body's weight, it uses a whopping 20% of the oxygen and calories you consume. This vital fuel is delivered through a rich and complex network of blood vessels. Major arteries carry oxygen-rich blood to the brain, which then branches into smaller and smaller vessels to ensure that every single neuron gets the energy it needs to function. This continuous blood supply is absolutely critical. A disruption for even a few minutes can cause serious and permanent damage. From its amazing protective shell to the billions of cells firing within, the human brain is a true marvel of nature. It empowers us to learn, to create, to love, and to explore the universe around us. It is the architect of our thoughts, the keeper of our memories, and the source of our very identity. The next time you solve a puzzle, enjoy a piece of music, or simply take a breath, take a moment to appreciate the silent, tireless work of the extraordinary command center inside your head. It is the most valuable and amazing thing you will ever own, and understanding it is one of science's greatest adventures. Consider that.